Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this particular video, I'm going to be recreating just the UI, just the front end of this portfolio risk dashboard. And it's really a fascinating project for me. So I'm going to do a voiceover just explaining how I got around and I did it. So the first thing I noticed, one of the things I'm doing here, first thing I do is to remove the grid lines. And you would notice that essentially recreating this dashboard is really manipulation of fill colors, border colors in Excel, row and column sizes in Excel to get exactly the visual that you can see in the original dashboard. I'm not sure where the original dashboard came from. If anyone knows the source, you can tag me, tag it in the comment section or notify me in the comment section. But I really liked the dashboard, and I have this thing about me. When I see beautiful dashboards on the internet or just anywhere in general, I tend to ask, can this dashboard be recreated in Microsoft Excel? And this curiosity and this fascination is what has made me create this channel where I showcase dashboard design in Microsoft Excel, and I take on this kind of recreation challenges. So this one in particular is a short video because I'm focusing just on the UI, just on the interface we can see. I'm not going out to build a template like I typically do that has the backend data and users are able to update the backend data and see their own data in the front end. All I'm building is the front end for this particular tutorial. So as you can see, I have gotten started and I'm just recreating the lines, the text, and the spacing that shows up in the top, as the top bar of the original dashboard. This dashboard looks like a portfolio dashboard or a company dashboard where you can select a company, view its registration number, view its risk profile, and then see sub details that are specified in sub tabs of summary, general, payments analysis, group structure, and things like that. So it essentially looks like a summary of a company and analysis of a company's data from a risk perspective. So what I'm doing is the top part looks like a summary view that shows the highlights of the key, maybe risk or portfolio in the indices. And I am spacing these out as is shown in the original dashboard. I also create the two buttons that are visible in that view for more actions, and something that's kind of like a status button that shows monitored. I don't code the buttons because, like I said, I'm only focusing on the UI elements, on the buttons, the text, the navigation elements, which will not be programmed, but just focus on how it's spaced, how it looks in the original view. And I assumed the fonts, I don't know the exact font, but I assume that the font being used is Franklin Gothic, because I know the Franklin Gothic font, which is available on most PCs, it has this, it's most similar to what is in the original dashboard. So I'm spending a lot of time on the spacing. I think what really transforms this dashboard from your typical Excel dashboard to something that looks like what is in what I'm recreating is the spacing of the columns. And you can see I'm doing a lot of manipulation of the column sizes so that it mimics the view of the dashboard. I'm also using color to mimic that dashboard view, where I start with a light gray background, and then for the specific sections where the data is, I use white, and I also use a very faint gray border so that it's not visible, but at least it creates that distinction between the background and where the data, the actual data is. To get that border effect, so we can see orange somewhere in the main original dashboard, but it's just showing up as a very thin line. I use the border color. I updated the top border color to orange, thick orange, to get that effect. And then I did the same I finished the summary view section and I moved on to the main section that has modules. If you look at it, the whole summary, directors and things like that, those are like module tabs. So what I'm doing is to recreate that effect, I'm playing around with the spacing. I'm not being as precise as I typically would be with the box sizes. So I'm using color variants, like I'm using the blue and orange color variant to let me know as my own guide, so that I know whether my boxes and my model tab sizes are evenly spaced, evenly sized. And then once I'm done with and I've confirmed that, I change all the boxes back to gray, which is as it shows in the original dashboard. I then go on to start creating the tabs, the model tabs. I think that's the actual UI name, by putting the names of the modules. And I center the text because it's clear that the text is not sitting directly on the line, and it's right now as it is, it's showing that it's sitting on the line. So I center the text horizontally and vertically as well. And now I'm going into the main view. I'm only going to build one view. In the original dashboard, I imagine that as you click a model tab, it switches the view, but I'm only building out the view that is visible in this static dashboard, this snapshot of the dashboard. But typically in a dashboard like this, you'll be able to select a module, and then the view that you are seeing will change to match the information in that particular module. So I go on ahead to recreate the other aspects of that view, which is the first aspect to the left is the table that shows details like an average invoice value, invoices available, paid and outstanding. And then that data is in a very muted table. And I reflect that by creating a spaced visual, spaced layout. I center the text and I use a very faint gray for the borders in that table, just like it is in the original view. So again, I'm using colors as my guide, and I've used an orange block as my guide so that I know that the paragraph text that I'm going to put in is well spaced and well aligned to the rest of the content in the dashboard view. There are essentially three key elements in that view. The first being the table, which I've already done. The second being the block of text. And the third being the chart that shows the green, orange, red. Even if you can't see the details, that's what's available from here. So I've created the first element. I'm creating the second element, the block of text. And the spacing just has to be gotten right. It just has to look, the alignment to the other aspect, the other elements in the view is so important. And then I use that orange block background as my guide so that I could visually detect if there was any misalignment and correct that. I've done that. Like I said, this is a very quick and fast tutorial. I sped it up because I'm only building the front end, and I just wanted to walk you all through the process because I thought I really like this original dashboard. I just like how clean and how well spaced it looks, and how you're able to fit in a lot of information in one view and still not look too cluttered. So I just told myself I have to do this, even if I don't do the back end and the typical model and data views that I typically build out in my dashboards. I'm like, if I'm fine if I just build out the UI, because I really want to see how easy or how hard it is to recreate this UI using Microsoft Excel. So I've gone over to the back end because, charts, there's no way around it. You just have to build out the Excel chart. And I've gone to create dummy data. I've created a new sheet that will contain the data, the dummy data for the tables. And created a table, and then recreating all the series and categories in the original chart, in the original dashboard, and then working with the text to try to get the text size, the chart sizes and shapes to look very much like the original. It's coming in with the Excel default blue, but I'm going to change it and change all the colors one after the other of the different categories to match what was in the original. So that's it, and my recreation of the dashboard UI is completed. How do you like it? Do you think it looks as good as the original? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.